Hi, everybody. If you're looking for the best in podcasts, audio series, and music, please check out the Forever Adventure Network. We have podcasts such as the Never Gets Old podcast. We have audio series such as the MacGyver SG1 audio series and music by Harmony Constant, as well as blogs, comics, and more. Please check us out at the Forever Adventure Network. And as always, thanks for joining the adventure.
The Forever Adventure Network. Welcome to the adventure.
Alone again, alone again. His stories were like us, a beginning and an end. Alone again.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the Never Gets Old podcast. I'm your host, Mac Jackson, and joined with me is the wonderful Scott Tipton. And we're not going to waste any time because it's been way too long. And we have a giant, well, at least I have a giant list to talk about, including, I don't even know where to begin.
Actually, I think one place to start because it's long overdue.
Go ahead.
I missed this when I first came out because that was when LA was dealing with the fires and it was nuts.
Mhm.
I only just saw Captain America: Brave New World.
Okay, good. Ooh, I'm glad you remembered to mention that because I would have forgotten. All right, and?
Pretty strong, I thought. I really liked it. What struck me the most, and I think what later movies this summer have proven, is that, especially, I don't know if it was just because of this one franchise, but Marvel has gotten a bit too afraid of doing what they used to do great, which is embracing the comic book stuff.
Yes.
I really liked like I said, I liked the movie a lot. But you can't tell me it wouldn't have been better if Giancarlo Esposito had actually been the Sidewinder.
Right. Agreed.
I mean, he doesn't need to have the full cape,
No.
but put him in a costume.
Right. It could be like an army fatigue kind of costume, but still have the Serpent Society accents on it.
And give him the snake helmet that he takes off every now and then. Give him a disco collar.
Yep.
Give him some flair. I mean, just it was a good movie, like I said, but it was all just fighting military guys, fighting guys I mean, this is a movie where you've got the president turning into the Hulk.
Right.
You don't need to be afraid of it being too cartoony. You're already there.
I agree. Yeah. Again, like you said,
Same thing with the leader. I mean, I'm so glad that Nelson came back to play the leader.
God.
I want the big head. I mean, you got two choices with leader. You got tall head, or you got wide head. But don't just give me lumpy head.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And
Right.
was
That was
great.
a shame.
Yeah.
That was like, and I guess that was a big criticism that people had, and surprise, negativity on the internet. But they're like, how come they didn't do that? Well, all right, it was a stylistic choice. I would have gone with the longer head.
Yeah, it didn't ruin the movie for me, but I would think, man, it just felt like missed opportunities.
That's perfectly said. Because here's whenever we go see these movies, I always say, listen, and I think the internet audience has to shut up and realize you don't want everything to be Endgame. Not everything is going to be life-changing. It shouldn't be, because you have to have the ebbs and the flows.
Yeah.
And the ebbs are not bad.
That's unsustainable.
Exactly. And also, you'd burn out. I mean, when a Marvel movie is on, I'm not always watching it on TV because, especially when they show Infinity War or Endgame, that's emotional. Like I have to brace myself.
It's so funny you say that. The one movie I haven't gone back to and watched a lot is Infinity War for that very reason. I love that movie. It's great, but that one is not one I can hop into. Endgame can, because Endgame has fun moments, but Infinity War, when I want to sit down and rewatch it, I've got to sit down and be ready for it and actually be in it.
Right? Because it is emotionally draining.
Yeah.
I mean, and when we go to see these movies, and we'll talk about this with the other things we have to discuss, but it's all the same. Relax, just enjoy it. Enjoy the movie that they're trying to tell, and if they typically they will succeed. It'd be a shame if they, if it fails, but typically I can only think of and we've talked about this, two instances where Marvel has missed the goal line, but everything else, take it as what they're trying to give you and enjoy a self-contained, fun movie.
Yeah.
This Captain America movie, I'll tell you my observations, but again, I'm with you. No problem with it. Thankful it exists. They closed some threads like with the leader that were floating out there that, the internet loves to go, they've never gone back to that.
Yes. And I like that they paid it off by having Liv Tyler come back. That was nice.
Right. It was a nice, like, okay, good. That you need to. So when it was over, we talked about it. And I said, Sam Wilson's great, but he's not our Rogers.
Well, but the biggest problem too is that Chris Evans was so good.
He's so good.
And so I don't think anybody could have anticipated how good he would be and how much he would be a load-bearing wall for these movies.
Yep.
And what I think they were smart was what they did is they leaned into it.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they went two ways about it. They had the president come right out and said, "Look, dude, you're not Cap," but they didn't stress it too much because we had just had the whole miniseries about the identity of him being Cap. And if they played it again in the film, it would have felt like you were just going over old territory. Right. So they kind of cheated a bit by he's got the respect that Chris Evans would be getting as Steve Rogers Cap. And I'm not sure he really deserved it as a character. We hadn't seen that much, but that's also the function of it's now like years between these appearances for us to see him. So presumably there's been enough adventures of him as Cap that the world is now exclusively referring to him as Cap everywhere. And I get it. That's cool.
Sure. But again, it's not saying he's crap.
No, yeah.
He's not Steve Rogers. And
it's not his fault.
Right.
And Mackie is great in the role. And, and if you notice, they were very careful to kind of do the same thing they did with Winter Soldier and have as much, not as many, but close with his action scenes as him out of costume and in costume. So you're reminded it's the man and not just the suit. And I thought that was smart.
That's perfectly said. Also, the thing I love, and I love that I was tricked because I was thinking they were going to do the cliche, it's the president all the time. It's Harrison Ford's being the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I thought because all the times before Thunderbolt Ross was the bad guy.
Yeah.
He was wrong. He was he had his own agenda. I love that this was a redemption story for him.
Yes.
Right? Even in the end, when he's in prison, he goes, I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
I get it.
He voluntarily gave up office. He volunteered for his sentence.
I thought, bravo, because if it had not gone that way, and I didn't even conceive that as a possibility, I would have said, yeah, I predicted the way the movie was going to go. But in this case, no. And I love the fact that even during the big fight scene, Falcon Cap says, I can't beat you. There's no way I can beat you. You're a Hulk.
Yeah.
And I thought, all right, good. Let's not be full of crap.
Yeah. I also way more than I expected. I liked the new Falcon, the sidekick.
I did too. I agree. I didn't need him. Like you needed a sidekick for him to talk to. I got that.
Right. And the character is out of the comics, so that it didn't feel like a movie.
That I didn't know. That I didn't know until after I saw it, and somebody said, "No, he's from the comics." I went, "Oh, see, I haven't been reading Falcon Cap, so I appreciate that then."
Yeah.
And
the actor's good. He's fun.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No problems. Honestly, there was nobody that was obnoxious. Everybody was good. It was a great story.
You could definitely tell that the reshoots on this one do kind of show through in a couple of places.
Yeah.
Like the Ross's security agent, the Israeli.
Okay.
She's supposed to be Seraph, the Marvel character.
Okay.
Marvel famously has an Israeli superhero, and this was supposed to be her. And at the last second, they got cold feet because all of a sudden the war started, and there are complaints about having an Israeli superhero because of the whole current conflict with the Palestinians, and they kind of papered it over by saying, no, she's from the Red Room. She's a widow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It doesn't really make sense because the Red Room doesn't really take in exchange students.
Right. Right. They're kind of their own.
They're pretty members is pretty tight.
Mhm.
And then you can think she had this. There's one scene where she's wearing a version again of the Seraph costume, but they've got her have a jacket over it, so you can barely see it.
Sure, sure.
So that one didn't. I don't know. I think that the character is in the comics is kind of like nothing. I mean, she appeared in Contest of Champions. She's appeared a couple of times, so it's not like a big waste. But you can just you can spot the stitch there where they stop.
I'm glad I didn't know that.
And then the other thing too, and this one doesn't show, but apparently I think the first version before they did all the reshoots did have more of the Serpent Society stuff. And
Yeah.
the wrestler Seth Rollins was going to play, I think, either Sidewinder or King Cobra. And with the reshoots, they took him out entirely,
Oh,
replaced him with Esposito. And I don't know, you're probably not a wrestling guy that much, but Seth Rollins is not a good actor.
right.
Yeah, and when he does promos on TV, he's got what they call it a wrestling. You know, you want your bad guys to have heat where their audience hates them, but he's got what they call go away heat, where he's talking and they just want him to go away. Great wrestler, but he's a terrible talker. And when I was watching it, I was thinking, there's that one big a monologue that Esposito gives to Mackie once he's been captured, where he basically explains what's going on with the plot.
Sure.
Man, Seth Rollins doing that just would not have worked at all. So
Right.
that was a good edit. That was a good casting change.
Yeah, but yeah, the two things I wish they did, I wish they showed more of the Serpent Society. It made them, it doesn't have to be. And I also understand that, and I've learned this through the years, especially since these movies. I understand not everything can be comic accurate comic book outfits. I got that because a lot of these guys, when they were creating these villains or whoever, they didn't. The writers and artists didn't care about reality. They just wanted bright and shiny for it to get the kids to read them. I got that. So, but the movies have done such a great job of making them practical so that it makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're right. They needed to put him in some sort of Serpent Society-ish,
It doesn't need to be accurate, but it needs to be
representative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And for example, that big guy that Sam fights in the opening scene,
Yeah.
supposed to be Copperhead. Nothing about that guy said Copperhead. I only know he was Copperhead because in the credits it said Copperhead.
Right. See, just lean into it. Let's get back to like you said.
And they kind of Jimmy Olsen the D-Man too. I don't know if you noticed his Cap's buddy with the beard, who was the military guy who gets killed by the leader.
Mm-hmm.
That was Dennis Dunphy, according to the credits. Well, that's Demolition Man.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like they just did that thing like Zack Snyder did, where he killed Jimmy Olsen in the first 5 minutes and didn't even name him.
That was him.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're going to be comic accurate, that's fine, but don't use the names if you're just going to nerf the characters.
Right. Exactly. Well, so then I don't think it counts since nobody really knows.
Yeah.
But the other thing about the movie was I wish we got to see the Hulk. Not that he had to be the Hulk. He could have been Bruce Banner, but it's basically a sequel to the Incredible Hulk without the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We should have had something, even if it was an end credit, where he comes to see Ross with his daughter. Something. The whole time I'm like, you got to show him. You got to show him chiming in somewhere. I'm waiting for them to not. I want them to revert, and I think they maybe will with the new Spider-Man movie they're filming.
Yeah, that's the word.
Let's get our Hulk back. I never liked brainy, boring Hulk. I got it. It was good for a part of the Endgame movie, but let's revert back to monstrous Hulk.
Yeah. I mean,
Right?
I love Professor Hulk, but I think it'll be much more fun to have him back to being angry Hulk in the next. And that's the beauty of Hulk is you can swap that around.
Right, right, right.
I do like that. God, 20 years later, they're still referring to that time the Hulk and the Abomination broke Harlem.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And we've seen Abomination already.
yeah,
You know, let's get, and I don't care if the Hulk talks. Like think of the animated series, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That
yeah,
was perfect because
yeah.
he was
And
so you didn't know what to, is he gonna smash things right now or is he gonna have a conversation?
and they've already proven it works. I mean, Hulk talked in like the first Avengers and in Thor Ragnarok as Savage Hulk, and you can do that, and it works.
Just do it. That there you go. He's unpredictable, but he's
Yeah,
also you can talk to him. So
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's
And by
what
the way, you're right. I think Earth's Mightiest Heroes is had better than anybody showed how to use Savage Hulk in a team function.
right,
Yeah, they
right.
did great, man. And then when and what they were, and they even include that detail where, like, he's got that deal with Banner in his head, where like, I'll play nice if you stay inside.
Yep.
It's really, I gotta finish that show too. I'm kind of saving
Oh,
the last half of the last season because it's so good. And
it's
I'm
so
like,
good.
yeah,
It's so good. When I have the kids and the whole family watching them one at a time, and we're on season 2 now, I think. And so it's whenever I think about it, oh, we only have a half hour. Let's pop in one of those.
yeah,
And it's so good because it takes its time.
yeah.
It makes you care about aim. And
Mhm.
like, really? I don't
Yeah,
care
their
about
Modoc is great.
right? Everything. I'm like, yep, that's because I'll pause it and go, this is a perfect show.
Yeah,
This is
and
perfect.
they use the Wrecking Crew right. I mean, we saw, and we even saw like crazy stuff like Zax.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I just I was sad when Sony lost the ability to do those episodes.
Yeah. What?
Um,
They had somebody playing the leader that was great. Oh, it was Jeffrey Combs.
let's see, there you go.
It was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And like I said, they made the D-list character villains
Yeah.
mean something. You go, oh no, they're not just throwing him in there. You go, oh, he is dangerous. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? You go,
They even
wow.
used Mandrill.
Who was it?
They even Mandrill, the baboon guy with the cape.
Right. I know. I know. Well, they had one of the guys, the oh, I can't think of it. He had metal bulbs on his arms and a metal head, and he was used just to be an example of the what was it? League of Evil or whoever the heck they are, coming the Vengeance Society. I don't know what they were called.
The Masters of Evil. Zingles group. Yeah.
Yeah, and they have this guy there, and they basically kick the crap out of him for information. But even in that scene, you go, oh
Yeah.
no, this guy on his own, he's trouble. I get that.
Yeah.
Like I
Oh,
love that.
it was Chemistro.
Is that who it was?
Yeah, that's a deep cut. Chemistro was like a Luke Cage villain.
Right, right. And I'm like, bravo, you made me give a rat's rear end about this guy.
And I know later in the season there's Yellow Jacket stuff coming. I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be happy. So let's see. Wait a minute. Did you watch Ironheart?
I watched enough of it to know that it wasn't for me.
I knew you were gonna say that. Those words. As I'm watching it myself, I'm like, this isn't for me. I'm like, that's what Scott's gonna say.
And it's again, it's not bad. It's not that it's bad. It's just not for me. I did make sure to watch the stuff with Borat as Mephisto.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I thought those scenes were great.
That's the payoff. That's your
Yeah.
payoff right there. And it is great. Yeah, the series overall, you're like, okay. I didn't need the character to even exist.
Right.
But since they started it in Black Panther 2,
Yeah.
all right, go ahead, do your thing. She's
And
there.
I do appreciate the novelty of taking it into a mystical thing, which I didn't expect.
Right.
And at least that sets it away from just feeling like an Iron Man ripoff. It gives it more of its own identity.
It came right from they refer right to Agatha,
Yeah.
which I'm like, oh. Mikey's watching it as we're watching it, and he goes, wait a minute. She's a witch? Like where did this come from? And I thought, no, that's good because we didn't expect it. and yet it doesn't ignore what happened in the other corner over here.
Yeah.
They should spill over and do things.
And honestly, it is what Marvel needs more of, is kind of reminding us that this is the world we live in, where this stuff is possible. Which, not to jump ahead, is what James Gunn did so brilliantly in Superman.
Right. Right. We'll get there. And as I want to go through all the Marvel stuff
Yeah.
before we do that. But yes, I agree. Yeah, like I said, I enjoyed it. I didn't need it. And you saw what you needed to see. But the one thing as a 50-year-old white guy, I don't know if I could say it was funny or aggravating, where they're using slang a little too much.
Yeah.
Through it all. Like to the point where we paused it and we were all laughing. Like, stop trying so hard to be hip, with the youngsters right now, with the wording and the. I understand culture can use their own thing, and that's fine. But you could tell when it was ham-fisted. And there's a couple moments where we just went, this is embarrassing for everyone.
It felt like Steve Buscemi on 30 Rock as the detective.
Youth
Hello,
kids.
fellow teens.
Yeah. There were a couple moments where, like, the boy who's the neighbor who likes her, he comes over and he says some things, and you're just going, no, I don't care where you are in the world. Somebody says that to somebody, you go, what?
Yeah.
You sound like an idiot. Don't do that.
I'm reminded of the fact that I've had quibbles with Bendis's writing over the years, but one thing he did that was really smart is when he started writing Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He just invented his own teen slang because he knew he was a 50-year-old white guy and he knew he wasn't going to get it right. So he just invented his own, and it sounded young, it sounded unfamiliar, and it totally worked. It didn't feel fake because he was just making it up.
And also, good writers like him will call out if it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
You should have another character going, what'd you say? That's all we need. Like, let's be honest. I always say language is written word, and language is a beautiful thing when it's done right.
Yeah.
And when something attacks it like that, bad grammar or whatever, you have to go, stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
One other thing from Ironheart 2, which I thought was well done. Even though at the time in the comics I thought Bendis was playing him too much, I do like Bendis's creation of the Hood. That character.
Love the Hood, and wasn't thrilled with what I saw in the beginning of Ironheart, because I love the Hood. I'm like, this is a villain that you could be scared of.
Yeah, but the actor who played him, I thought is great. It's the guy from Hamilton, Anthony Ramos, and he I thought was really good. He
won me over because they ended up tying it back to Mephisto.
Yeah.
Originally, I'm like, what? Because the way that you remember, Bendis had the Hood be a mystery for the longest time.
A long time.
Right? And I loved it because you go, all right, this guy just seems like a white guy who found a cape, and now everybody's supposed to bow down to him. And because he could prove himself when other villains called him out on that, he'd go, yeah, how about this? And, or whatever he had to do, and all the rest of them fell in line. You go, oh, bravo, Bendis. Yeah. I love this character. Well, then they had to mix race in this show, but then I see the show and I go, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter who the guy under the cape is, as long as the writing is the same type of situation. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you feel like the casting is stunt casting because, well, we have to get black guy, Asian guy, blah, blah, blah. But in this case, I went, okay, it didn't matter. It's fine. Well,
because in that case, it's all about the intensity.
Right.
And that's what he brought to it.
And when they revealed that, oh no, he gave up his soul, and the markings on his back are growing, and it's growing on his face, and you're like, all right, that it didn't have to be a pasty white guy. It didn't originally, because again, when they created him, the pasty white guy was nobody we ever knew or cared about.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It turned out.
I'm all for colorblind casting if the character's personality or makeup has nothing to do with their ethnicity. Do whatever you want. Like, for example, nobody complained way back in the Affleck Daredevil movie about Michael Clark Duncan as a Kingpin, because he was great.
He was great. He was
Now he didn't want to being as great as
no,
the guy
did
we got
not fail.
eventually, but he was still good. He was really good in that.
Oh, yeah. No, without a doubt. I mean, he was because he was big, he
Because
was scary.
and they didn't change the character. He dressed like the Kingpin,
Right.
he fought like the Kingpin,
Yep.
he spoke like the Kingpin.
Mhm.
I need to
And
go
he
back
had
and
that
watch.
deep voice where you went, "Ooh, that's scary. That's
Oh yeah,
intimidating."
I
I
haven't
feel
watched
that
that in
going through
years.
me.
I should check it out again. I
What?
mean, I know it's not. I haven't watched that movie in years. I should check it out again.
You
I know
should.
it's not going to be good, but the Daredevil stuff, at least. I mean,
I
the Kingpin stuff.
well, no, I like the movie, but again, first of all, I adore Daredevil, so anything you slap a double D on, I'm thrilled.
Yeah,
But the thing that is bad is the special effects where they have him leaping up 3 stories. Where,
yeah,
okay, stop it. You took
yeah.
you took out the poor reality of it's a guy in a suit who's has physical limits. You can't have him spring, and fly up 3 stories. And I can think of a particular scene.
Yeah, I remember those.
Oy.
I think that was the just CGI was so new at the time, and it's like we can do this,
So
and
why not?
they didn't stop to think, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Right.
There's a great scene in Blade 2 where like the vampires are attacking his headquarters, and he has that big uh lighting rig set up to like burn out the vampires.
Sure.
It's such a clearly CGI Blade running and doing this big move, and the bit of animation is great, but you can spot it a mile away. And it was like, well, they were like, we can do this now, yeah, but you shouldn't.
I never saw the third one, and I think I'm safe for that. Someday I will. But everybody says, "Oh no, it's bad because Wesley Snipes wasn't even there most of the time."
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great,
Yeah,
but the second one's fantastic.
it is. The first two I adore.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, all right, bravo, this is great. So wait, all right. So that one's done. How about Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts surprised the hell out of me. I loved it, absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the high points in the last like couple years.
Yep. Yeah. You know why? It had heart.
Exactly.
How hard is that to do? I mean, come
Yeah.
on. Like it was the right amount of humor. They toned uh the Russian Captain America down.
Yeah.
Um
I mean that moment where he and Yelena have their kind of like emotional rapprochement on the as the city's being attacked, and they have their moment where they were
on the corner, yeah.
that's great acting,
Yeah.
and those characters feel real.
Yep. Yeah. And you go, okay, good. You should have those doubts. You should feel like crap. It's not easy being a superhero or in a lot of their cases, a supervillain.
Yeah,
Like they think they're doing the right thing, but they killed a lot of people, and now you're starting to feel guilty about it. And there you go. There's your plot right there.
yeah. The biggest surprise to me, because I've not been the biggest fan of the Sentry in the comics.
Okay.
That was another one where I felt like it was an idea, and it was a fun idea as a standalone.
Sure.
But then they just used him too much, and he was everywhere, and I just it felt like they were just pushed him too hard. So I didn't expect to like him in the film.
Right.
He works great in the film.
Yeah.
But the Bob's character going throughout the whole film was awesome. And then when they put him in the suit, what do? They put him in the suit.
Oh, yeah.
They don't back off on it. They don't put him in like a dark. No. He's in that bright yellow and blue Sentry suit.
As he should.
He's in the jammies, but he's so scary. He never seems silly.
When I think about the original casting for that,
How is that going to work?
huh?
How was that ever going to work?
Right. And I love the actor from
He's a great actor, but
love
Yeah.
him. But that's not who he is. I mean, it would have been I think that would have been a case where you went, wait a minute.
yeah,
That you can't go with an Asian guy for this white bread type of character. It has to be part of his whole dynamic is he's a white guy who's trying to be the white,
he's got to be Marvel Superman.
Yes. Yeah. And I'd rather them save Stephen Yen, I believe is his name. Save him. He's great. Use him appropriately.
Yeah.
So I love that he backed away and we got what we got.
Yeah, and then when he fell and became the Void, that was where it's just oh man,
Yeah.
you get the pinprick eyes, and yeah, so good.
I love that when they do that. Like that's the way that you could. By the way, they've proven they can do that kind of thing with Batman with the white eyes
Yeah,
in live action. So we better get seeing it because there's no reason why you can't. And if you want to do little dot eyes once in a while from a reflection, you can do it. You know
yeah,
what I mean? And I love that that it was all about we're here for you. That's how you beat him. You're not going to beat him physically. He
yeah,
took you into a different realm. You're done. You know,
yeah.
when they were showing all the shadows, boom, boom, boom. Like, all right, now how do you stop this thing?
I don't know if you noticed this because it goes by so fast. In the scene where they're all like in like their worst nightmares and they're trying to find each other,
Mhm.
when Bucky comes in, you see the room he was in, and he was in the room where they always were replanting his memories and resetting his brain from Winter Soldier.
Yep, I love it. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I mean, that's smart writing, and you don't have to be. You can be subtle, and like you said, if you notice it, great. If you don't, doesn't matter. But when you do, you're gonna go, oh wow, a new level. You know,
yeah.
I love
And
this.
the fact that the supervillain of the movie was depression.
Right,
I
right.
like that. I mean that's so relatable.
And I also love that they paid off Julie Louis Dreyfus.
Yeah,
Because so far she's just been in the background going,
yeah,
all right, well, so what? You're talking talk, but let's see oh, okay, there you go. Now you're actually manipulating people and showing that you are a bad guy.
yeah.
That was so
And
well done.
and now putting her on the shelf for a while, which is good.
Yep.
Now
Yeah,
they brought her to, and we own you now. And
that
it's,
was
oh,
something.
yeah,
That I thought for sure they'd come out and go, she's the bad guy, arrest her. Instead of like, no, we're gonna use you, which kind of still doesn't make them as good the good guys as
yeah,
they should, because it wasn't
yeah.
the most moral
But
choice.
I mean, these characters. I mean that's the way Yelena would think to do this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and Bucky now, which I love the fact that he's a congressman.
I was
That
just about to say that to you. I love because when they made him a congressman or running for Congress
yeah,
during Cap, I was like, huh, are they gonna, to use your term, nerf him? Or are we gonna see, are they gonna make him worth it again? And then to have him try and resist in this movie and then go, no, I'm putting on the suit. I have to go
yeah.
save these idiots or
And it's
stop
funny,
these idiots.
the notion of a 119-year-old former Soviet assassin being elected to Congress 20 years ago. Well, that's stupid.
Right. Now,
In today's world,
where anything goes, I'm like,
yeah,
yeah.
I get it. I mean,
Well,
there's
yeah, I agree. And that was the other thing I wanted to discuss. How, and this goes with Daredevil, this goes with Superman. We can come back to it in a bit after we talk about all the movies. But it seems like the underlining uh-oh danger is the world we live in right now, where these horrible, 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 without doubt monsters are in power, and yet nobody does anything. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
and that is the biggest crisis. So they're smart in these movies to go look at Kingpin, convicted villain. He's the mayor of New York now. You
yeah,
know, and it's like you said, 20 years ago, you go, okay, yeah, that's comic booky stuff when Lex Luthor was president. And now you go, oh no, that's where this is right taken from the headlines.
yeah.
It's
And I mean, art has to reflect the society it's in. So I mean, you gotta lean.
right. Right. Whenever they do the every however many long, whenever they do a new biography of comics, and they go, here's the beginning, here's
Yeah,
this time, here's during Crisis of Infinity Earths, here's when they broke Batman, Superman died. Then they catch you up to the current. Well, the last time they did that was the 9/11 effect,
yeah,
right? Remember that? And they're
mhm,
like, 9/11 changed everything, and this is how, and in the books, and this happened, this. And I went, yep, you're right. And I love that. And that's the type of behind the scenes crap that I'll sit there for hours and rewatch and just go, I see what they're thinking when they were writing it. Well, we're going to see that again with what we're living in now. When they
yeah,
look back and go, this is how comics were at the time.
yeah, for
I,
sure.
I'm looking forward to when it's a remember when, as opposed to the
Yes.
holy crap, are we going to make it till tomorrow kind of
Yeah.
world. You know, one of the things I really appreciated was that they didn't forget how wonderful Bucky is. Like
Yes.
when he shows up and they're like, who the heck is shooting at us? And he
Yeah.
basically kicks the crap out of all of them. You're like, there, I
And,
love
and,
that.
and even like they're like the Red Guardian, is that Bucky? Yeah, I think they're all excited to see him. It's like Elvis shows up.
Like, whoa, all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hold back. Like he's holding the US agent is holding
Yeah.
up the shield, going, stop it, stop it, like scared. Good, you should be.
By the way, I thought, what Russell? Wyatt
Yeah.
Russell, great as U.S. agent here. Took everything about him from that first series, but now makes you like him because he's such a lost soul.
Yep.
And there's a small detail, like at the beginning, he's calling Bob Bobby, and he's kind of snide about it, and
Yep.
you can tell there's no respect there. And by the end of the movie, he's calling him Bobby, and he means it. It's an actual term of endearment.
Affection, yeah.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it takes some chops to do that in a movie like this, which is all action. He's still got an arc.
Right. And yeah, I mean, and the fact that they killed what was it?
Oh, the fake Taskmaster.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
Because
I had no problem with that.
yeah, you need to actually give us the real Taskmaster.
Yeah, yeah.
You wasted that character on a Black Widow movie. Let's have the real one. Like
That felt like in The Simpsons when they lifted Poochie out.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, all right, forget it. Poochie's gone to space. We're not dealing with this Taskmaster anymore.
But I thought, you know what though? It works because they didn't just have her disappear.
Yeah.
Because people would have said, whatever happened to that one if you have a new Taskmaster? No,
Yeah.
kill her. That's
Yeah. And I mean, there's nothing endearing about the character. You didn't really get to like her in any sort of way. So look, killing her off was good for shock value, but you don't feel like you lost an
potential.
opportunity there for a good character. Yeah, there was no potential there.
No, I agree. Where if you're a comic book guy like you and I, and you know how Taskmaster is supposed to be,
Yeah.
is incredible. It's like
Oh.
Deathstroke. It's a
Yeah.
Deathstroke type character. You go, no, there's dimension and there's reason and there's character.
Or if you want to, you could play him for comedy because I mean, the idea that he's a franchise for superhero thugs.
Mhm.
That's hilarious. And you can have fun with that too, that aspect too. There's so
Exactly.
much to do with that character instead of making them a zombie.
Right.
I
Right.
never understood that.
I wanted to show you this first before I forget. I don't know. I think it was for Father's Day. My kids got me,
Oh, nice.
right?
Very
Right.
good.
I got a Funko made of me, which I'm thrilled. What's it say? Best dad ever on the shirt.
Very hip.
And I'm holding the comic book. The only thing that we got to get is a little guitar.
Yeah.
And I said, "What's in his other hand? Is it a microphone? For performing? No, it's supposed to be like a coffee." And I'm like, "Okay." But like,
Alright.
originally they didn't get the guitar because when they show it, the arms are down to the side,
Yeah, it's just hanging there.
and it's just hanging sideways. Well, what they don't tell you is you can actually move the arms. My Funko can actually hold the guitar.
Nice.
Yeah. So the problem is Funko doesn't make it like where you can just go in and piece it together. Where
Yeah.
I can take those things out of his hands, but they don't sell the guitar by itself.
It's not like Build-A-Bear.
No. So that's the search, is to find the actual an acoustic guitar. Because part of my essence is obviously comic books,
Yeah.
but music. Cindy and I are currently in the studio recording for an album. So whenever we get time, we have one coming up this Wednesday. And then we go in and I do the guitar and then we do my vocals and then they do her harmony. Well, I'm going to do that for every track of this album. I already have 2 singles out, but I got to do the other 8 songs. Well, that's the foundation, right?
Yeah.
And then after I get those, now we're going to sit back and go, all right, do this with an electric guitar, do this with this, do this with that. I love that whole process. This is not work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if I could spend all my days creating music,
That's cool.
and I'll tell you, it's a relief for me. Do you ever have, and I'm sure we all do, no matter what you're doing in your life, there's a task in your head that you want to get to before you die. Like it's something that is fundamentally part of you that you want to accomplish. Well, for me, like I'm acting, I'm doing this with you, and I got all that fun stuff too. I'm writing. But I want to actually have an album that I can hand to somebody, even though, the idea of a CD nowadays is
Yeah, what do I do with this?
right. It's a coaster.
Yeah,
Well, I still want to have a collection that I can actually sell at a gig and go, if you like what you heard, $5, take a, buy a CD. But to have a collected works that someone could look at and get, that's been my goal. And it's been eating me up since before the kids were born to do it. But we could never find a studio around here that was cheap. Everything was like $200 an hour. Well, SI Studios that we're using, it's $60 for an hour.
Yeah, there you go.
I can do that.
Nice.
And they're good. And and they care. Like they're actually going, what if we tried this? I'm like, thank you. That's what I love. I love the collaboration. If it's just me and the other guy going, whatever you want, Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I can be a dictator, but I don't want to be.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to share that with you because I figured you'd appreciate
Cool.
it.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts. Okay, so
Okay. The absolute kick-ass moment for me in Thunderbolts that kind of like set this movie apart.
sure.
There's that moment where Red Guardian runs out there, protects the girl from the falling rebel, and looks down, and then she's gone.
Yeah.
And the look on his face where that moment is taken from him is just heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then it's funny. Marvel has a very specific thing they do, which is I think is great. Is there's a team movie. You get the one moment where the team rallies around and does something. Like in Avengers, it was the
big circle. Yeah.
Yeah, in Avengers 2, it's the Ultron circle. And when they do it here, it's just the five of them holding up that gigantic bit of debris, trying to save people. And it's not them fighting, it's them trying to save people because they've all done awful things and they're all trying to make amends. It's
right.
The symbolism behind it's great.
I'm telling you, I'm so glad. I'm so glad it was so successful.
Mm-hmm.
I love because, again, we live in a world where a movie doesn't even come out and the internet's trashing it. Like, stop crapping on stuff. How about we support it and root for it and, enjoy the fact that you get to have these movies or shows. You know what I mean?
I got to say, the asterisk thing, which I didn't understand for the longest time, that totally paid off. I didn't see it coming.
Me neither. I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah. And then I don't know, here in town, there are billboards and bus ads everywhere for Thunderbolts.
Mm-hmm.
The next week, they were all replaced with the ones that said New Avengers.
You got to admire their commitment.
To spend the money that you don't need because the movie's already open just to pay off your gag. I got to respect that.
Right? I love that too because I remember seeing that on like Twitter or whatever. I'm like, really? This isn't edited? Somebody actually went in and did that?
Yeah.
Why not?
Also, by the way, I love in the tag scene at the end of Thunderbolts. I love U.S. Agent's new costume with his little beret.
Is that comic accurate?
No, that's that one's entirely new, which I like it.
Yeah. Well, I love also that they're like, why are they not taking us seriously now? Well, because Cap, Falcon Cap has his own Avengers.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a clash of some sort. Which I'm like, okay, good, because I kind of find it hard to believe that the world, well, all right, maybe not nowadays, but that the world embraced those losers as the new Avengers.
Yeah.
Talk about, the upgrade or downgrade. Well, that would be a downgrade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But okay, so then when the other one comes along, I got it. And he also, they're now using Stark Tower, which I went, that's who's finally owning Stark Tower.
Yeah.
That was another thread.
Another nice payoff.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I can't wait for more. It's
funny when it's easy to forget too that that team may seem underpowered, but they got 3 guys with a super soldier serum.
Right.
Which I always forget that Bucky has it, and I always forget that Red Guardian must have it based on the way he was
Must.
like bouncing off the debris. I mean, he's got like the Soviet version, which is probably a little jankier, but still.
Still, I know. Well, you know why you forget? Because they never showed us. I mean, they never showed it to us of them getting it.
Yeah.
So they just said, "Yeah, I got the super
Yeah.
soldier serum." In the comics, apparently, and I must have forgotten this. Did they change it? Black Widow was supposed to actually be back in the 40s, and she's just that old because she has a version of the super soldier serum.
I think they monkeyed around with that, but then also abandoned it because this just doesn't make any sense.
Because remember that great issue, and I have it,
Yeah.
of with Wolverine, Cap, and her.
But it just it doesn't. You can't make the years add up. It's like them trying to say Reed Richards was a World War II veteran. I mean, no, he
No,
wasn't.
no, he was not. No, yeah, yeah. I remember reading it when it came out and not being an official comic book collector yet, but getting it and going, why is she there?
Yeah, it just doesn't add up.
Did she time travel? I don't remember. I'm flipping back on. I don't remember seeing that. You know. Are you watching the Wakanda series?
Was that the animated one?
Mhm.
No. Is it
Okay.
good?
It's four episodes. You're not missing anything. I'm 2 episodes in. We were talking about it around dinner the other day, and I said we could watch one of those, and Everly goes,
Mm.
and it's first of all, it's way too late. You told us about it years ago. Thankfully, it's only 4 episodes, but it's back in 200 BC, 58 BC, and it's supposed to be like, look, it's every bunch of years of showing how Wakanda, but even back then they have them using like high tech stuff, and you go, no, I
Yeah.
understand it's not as powerful as what they end up getting, but you're not having a blue light come up and show you coordinates for anything in before Christ. Like it's not happening.
Yeah.
Um,
Honestly, I think the biggest problem, if we still had Chad Boseman,
yes,
I think all of this Wakanda stuff would be much more well received.
yes,
I think the loss of him has kind of cast a pall over this entire part of the universe that just can't be helped. It's
uh-huh,
always it's always gonna feel like we've lost something. It's always gonna feel like a funeral.
yep,
And
yep.
I mean, if I was them, I would lean away from Wakanda until such time as you're recasting everybody.
Which I think is coming.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. There's no way unless you recast him as a different T'Challa, the world will not accept it. The world, I mean, even if you want to, and it's not a matter of wanting to, it's a matter of just going, just give us the actual Black Panther. I don't
Yeah.
want a spin-off. I don't want a son. I don't want, give us, we didn't have nearly enough time with this character to change.
And I
Um,
mean, I understand that why they did it at the time. Everyone was so in shock about losing him that the
right.
idea at the time of recasting him seemed like the most horrible, callous thing to do.
Sure.
So
Sure.
instead, they went the direction of killing off the character, which is fine, but still, I mean, I haven't. I don't know about you. I've not gone back to watch Black Panther 2.
Can't,
It's
can't, no. It's a funeral. I don't want to
yeah,
watch a funeral.
it's multiple funerals.
Right. Right. I agree. Yeah. So anything, you're right. Anything where we're watching Wakanda, you're just reminded of the loss.
Yeah.
And also this isn't a payoff. I think this is one of those things where they went, um, this started back during the Marvel throw anything at the wall because Marvel's so good, just make whatever you want. Well, that's how you got Secret Invasion, and that's how you got, nobody was looking over the shoulders like they should have. And this is one of those. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh, they'll say it about musicians or actors when they do something that's not needed, but they do it just because they want to.
It's a vanity project.
Vanity, thank you. Yeah, it's very much a vanity thing, and it's not paying off.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing from the Wakanda stuff that seems to like still work is the Dora Milaje.
Sure,
So bringing out like sprinkling the Dora Milaje every now and then, just to kind of remind people that Wakanda is there. But otherwise, just kind of like leave it alone.
Right. Right. And um I went I got a whole bunch of Black Panther books, by the way, a couple years ago. So I started to go through them. Well, I started with the Ross version where they introduced that character, and it's kind of it's taken from his point of view, and like the king, blah, blah, blah. It's not easy to read. It's not a fun read. You know what I mean? And I know it made a lot of buzz, and it gave us those guys.
Yeah,
Right?
that's Priest, right? I think.
I think so. And
Yeah,
I'm just like, this is not easy to. I don't. You're not hearing Black Panther really talk. It's
yeah.
not from his point of view. The art isn't great. But I'm trying to get through it when I feel up to, because I bought them, I gotta read them. So when I feel up to it, I'll read one and go, okay, there's another one done. Where like Mephisto shows up and is sitting on the couch waiting for Black Panther to show up, and Ross has to he's supposed to be a schmuck kind of thing. Different from the Martin Freeman
Yeah, yeah. The
version.
Freeman version is there's much more depth there.
Yes. Yes.
That Kong version is all smarm and no substance.
Right. Exactly. I'm glad you said that the way you did. Um, okay.
Just to kind of close it out,
Sure, sure.
what the MCU did more than anybody, which is why it hurts so much, is they really cracked how to make T'Challa a character that you can relate to and that you liked. And
Right.
even in the comics, that had never been done that well. And they really got it. I think the combination of Coogler directing and what Chadwick brought to it, they cracked the code on him.
Right.
And
Right.
and you probably know this now. Whenever you read the Black Panther comics, you never have that as much affection for him as you do in the films.
Right. Right. And I couldn't believe it because I remember loving him. Actually, I read him because he took over Daredevil for a few months. Remember, it was Black Panther Man Without
Yeah.
Fear. And it was written well. Like he's like, yeah, I'm the king of Wakanda, but I'm living in this apartment in the bad part of town right now. And and it was good because it was like fish out of water and all of that type of thing. But you're right. It's my problem with him has always been Marvel overpowers their heroes, where I see DC trying to always lower the power of them. You know what I mean? And so Marvel makes Black Panther essentially unstoppable. And I don't want that. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't, okay, so not only is he the best fighter, he's got a suit that you can't penetrate and sound doesn't bother it and blah, 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 blah. Then what's the point of reading them? Like,
Yeah.
if the guy does not have a vulnerability, I'm done.
I like the Panther in the 60s when he was just a guy. He was just human. And sometimes he can spray gas out of his claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got the claws.
Yeah.
And he's athletic. That's great. But if he gets punched in the face, he should feel it.
Yeah. What made him the superpower was that he was the king.
Right.
That was the part of him where it was like, I'm untouchable. Not on a hand-to-hand level.
Mm-hmm.
He had a nation behind him.
Yeah. And the animated series did a great job with him.
Yeah.
Right? The Avengers.
Yeah, it totally did.
So to go from Thunderbolts at the tag scene with the rocket, the Fantastic Four rocket coming.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be explained in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, not even a bit.
It was not.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, the tag scene is going to be this. All right, let's start with the Fantastic Four. Give me your thoughts.
Loved it. I thought the decisions they made that people were the most suspicious of, like the female Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Having seen it made perfect sense because we've seen it already.
Right.
We've seen that whole story with Silver Surfer not long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it again, it's just going to feel kind of rote. And that was the one good thing about that movie was the last one was Doug Jones as Norman Rad. He was really good.
Yep.
So to just do it again for no reason, didn't really. It's gonna feel like old hat, and so having her give it enough of a twist, especially when you combine it with the most comic accurate Galactus we've ever seen.
Yes, thank God.
Yeah,
I okay, I think we talked about this last time we were talking, but and this is before we saw it. But I thought, first of all, you're right, because all the cliche stuff for Fantastic Four that needed to happen happened in the two movies, however many years ago, the Sony ones. And they were done great, but the thing that those movies lacked was the heaviness to take them seriously. They were
yeah.
fun. They were kind of like, it was a Sony. We
But
don't quite get it, but we're going to give you something kind of
all fun, but didn't have the gravitas.
right. Right. It was more of a, oh, the clowns are having trouble with the new clown that, and Dr. Doom was, I thought, drawn out too much, whatever. And the fact that they had him in the sequel was a big mistake too. But so I understand I'm coming at it from a writer producer standpoint. They had to do an official Fantastic Four movie, but they can't do the cliche Ben and Johnny are fighting and Reed is ignoring his wife and all the things that are tropes that you and I know. Well, you can't do it now because we were going to go, we saw that, like you said. So I understood the trouble they were going to have. So my sympathies going into it were, okay, just take the movie for what it is. And I thought they did an excellent job.
Yeah.
They didn't make Johnny too overbearing. He wasn't the clown that Chris Evans' version had to be. You could tell he likes women and but they didn't overplay it. They didn't focus on it. They had him and the Thing basically get along, but they bicker like brothers. Great. Reed was concerned with his work as he should be. Was not ignoring her.
Yeah.
To the cliche version. I loved it. And also, like I said with the other movies, you have to take it as its own movie. Don't compare it. Don't wait for the connection to anything. Just watch the movie and see if it's good. And I thought they did an excellent job with so many things. They introduced so many villains that even if we didn't see them, they were mentioned. They did like a quick, hey, by the way, they've been around for a while, and here's what you need to know. That's how you do it in this case, because you and I and the rest of the world typically don't need to see an origin story anymore. We've seen them, we know them, and if, God forbid the audience goes, I don't know how this started, maybe I should pick up a book. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Well, this is the thing that struck me about it is the other problem they had is in the kind of like footprint of the Marvel universe in the comics, the Fantastic Four are always the elder statesmen because they were the first. So even among like the Avengers and the X-Men, who are like, who's the big dog, the FF are always kind of up separate on this pedestal because they were the first. And because of the way the MCU played out, you were never going to have that if you bring in the Fantastic Four tradition.
Right.
If you do it this way, you have them in their own universe where they're the first. They're the most important. They're the only heroes this planet has.
Yep.
This Earth has. And so all of a sudden now you get all that backstory. You get all that feeling that you should have about the FF, and you can transfer that over to the MCU, and they've got that with them, and that's in your mind. So all of a sudden, all those stuff you couldn't have before if you just introduced them cold, way after everybody else. Now you get to keep that. And I thought that was super
brilliant.
I understand why they did it.
Right. And I applaud them.
Yeah.
Because again, you took away all the tropes that you could have typically have used, and now you got to go with a different avenue, and you got to pay off, and you got to see why these guys deserve to be part of the MCU.
I wish I had a movies for the stuff we hadn't seen. I want to see a whole movie with the Super Apes. I want to see a whole movie with Diablo. Yep. I want to see that whole Mole Man adventure.
Right. And what'd you think about Mole Man?
I thought they handled him great.
I think It was fine. It wasn't it wasn't the way that they typically have the mole
Yeah,
there.
but that actor was perfect.
Yes, he's great.
Yeah,
I like that they went, okay, we're not going to do the ugly warded guy in the
yeah,
sewer, but we're going to have this guy have a little back and forth with Johnny,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, he gets right up and starts sticking to Johnny. That's great. And you do see him in his weird square glasses every now and then too, which are awesome.
And I love that again, they did such an excellent job of making Sue relevant.
Yeah,
Sue is the one to go, okay, Moment, come here. I'll handle
yeah,
him. It's okay.
yeah.
Like we
She's
gave her,
she's the negotiator. She's the
yeah.
yeah,
Like they really see, as much as I want to love the Fantastic Four, it's few and far between great stories that I've read. Now I'm reading Mark Waid's, which I love Mark Waid.
yeah.
Um,
And
and,
the burn stuff is strong too.
and that's my next, I'm going for
Yeah,
that after.
yeah,
I started doing the comic, not to sidetrack, but I did the whole pay $5 a month for the subscription online so I can read like a whole bunch of everything that's been
yeah.
out forever. So I don't have to buy it. I'm renting it basically. I just read a Red Sonja, Gail Simone's first volume of Red Sonja, which paid off. Anywho, so yeah, I mean, you think of Fantastic Four, other than those tropes, what do they have? Okay, I was never into them, and they always kind of make Sue the Reed, you're not paying attention to me, and here's my big force field, and I kind of like Namor, and man, other than that, you're like, but this movie used her so well.
Yeah.
She's the one to go, guys, I can handle him. Come here, we'll talk, I'll negotiate. But also gave her certain speeches that had to be said.
Yeah.
When she walks out with the baby and goes, listen, guys, I get it. I can't allow him to take my baby, but we're all family. And I don't just mean the four of us or the five of us. I mean, we are all part. And that could have come off so corny. So, like, because I'm thinking if I'm an audience member, right? If I'm one of those people she's talking to, at what point do they go, bull crap, give me the kid?
Yeah.
But she has a long enough speech and kind of like I go, all right, this was written well. You can't just say family and have it work.
Yeah.
They made it pay off where you go, the world's going to go, all right, okay, let's do it your way. They may not completely agree, but they also see the point she's trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
It was great. I mean, I said to the kids afterwards when we're in the car, because again, we walk out of the theater, we don't say a word as much as we want to, wait until we're in the car, wait until I start the car so nobody can overhear us in the parking lot. Okay, what did we think? We all just say what we want. Well, I said, I believe her as Sue Storm. I didn't believe Jessica Alba as a Sue Storm. Oh, you're supposed to be really intelligent?
Yes.
This woman is the actress who played her now. I believe her as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I believe her as someone who is going to marry Reed Richards. She's smart. And I believe the negotiating thing. I believe I went, yeah, you are a strong woman, not a stubborn little pretty princess like Jessica Alba's version. They went with, no, she's a good character.
Yeah.
Right? Squeeze that out as much as you can.
Yeah. And I thought Pedro was great. Pedro is the distracted Reed Richards, but in a smart way, not in the dumb guy with the pipe over there who's too busy with a chalkboard to talk to his wife.
Right.
He's distracted by bigger issues. He's distracted by the fact that he can't stop thinking about what might go wrong.
And he's self-aware of that too.
Yeah. Yes.
I appreciated that because every time they write him, it's always, oh, I don't know, I'm ignoring you. No, he goes, no, sweetie, I know, I'm ignoring you, but come on, the world's gonna die. It's so funny too, because I think he's a great actor. I love everything I see him in. I don't look at him and think Reed Richards. I think he acted the part, but physically, I'm like, either grow a full beard, darker or whatever, but the mustache is very. First of all, he has a round head, not a long head. So
Reed is usually long and slender, and
right.
you
Like
don't get much of that. Yeah.
So it's very distracting as far as that goes. But I'll learn. I'll get used to it. A couple more interactions with this Reed Richards. I'll accept it.
Yeah.
Because everything else is great.
I mean, and at this point, I am just nitpicking because
Sure. It's great.
I would have liked to have seen a bit more of the rambunctious and fun side of Ben Grimm. Ben Grimm was very serious in this.
And also, I had to get used to the voice. Now, again, I said to the kids, you know what? They can't have 2 hours of him talking like this all the time because they get on your nerves. But a little gruffness in the voice would have been nice.
Yeah, they were really playing up his solemn side and a little bit sad, and that has to be part of it because he's trapped in that body. But there's also an aspect of Ben Grimm that he likes the fact that he's the toughest guy in the block. And we didn't really get as much. Now, hopefully, we will in future films, but we didn't get as much of that here.
Right, I agree. He did have to get the lowest out of the 4. He didn't get as much, but what they gave him, I loved. I loved that he was, oh, you want to see me lift the car? Okay. And it was playing with the kids. And then, sees Poker Face over there and has like a flirtatious thing with her. Love it. Love it. And
I mean, I like the fact that when he's living his life, he's dressed like a human being because you wouldn't just give up clothes because all of a sudden you're that guy. But, and also I think it's smart in that dressing nice makes him feel like a human.
Right. I agree.
But when he's fighting, I don't want him in the jammies. He doesn't need to be in the
Take the shirt off.
Take the shirt off.
Yep, least. I agree. I'm with you. And also, I love that it didn't take place in the 60s. Yeah. It took place in that universe, which happens to be the 60s aesthetic.
Yeah, the 60s aesthetic just stuck because it was so cool. That's great.
I didn't know how they were going to do that. I'm like, wait a minute. It's supposed to, you can't do a, oh, nobody ever talked about the Fantastic Four before in this universe. Bull crap. Yeah. So it was smart they did their 60s vibe. Yeah. They did a different universe, so it didn't bother with anybody. And
you got the vibe of it being a period piece, which it needed for the FF, without being trapped by it being a period piece.
It's brilliant. I'm telling you, people need to really appreciate the detail that all the people behind the scenes really thought about.
And also, they made you love Herbie.
What about that? You got to have Goofy Herbie and your flying car.
And you love him. He was great. I mean,
I thought about you too. I'm like, we get the flying car. He'll be so happy.
Every time, if you notice, every time Johnny Storm leaves a scene with Herbie, he scratches Herbie on the head.
Yeah.
It's little things like that. The little bit, that little affectionate note there. It's like, all right, they love him too.
Yeah. And it's so funny. My kids have seen this and Superman a lot. Mikey's gone a couple times to CFF, has seen Superman 5 times because he's out of his group. It's a lot of times it's, oh no, you're the comic book kid, so we gotta go. We want to see it with you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, they saw Fantastic Four, and Everly said her and her friends cried when it looked like Sue was gonna die.
Yeah.
And even though she saw it, she still felt it. She saw it already and watched it again and felt that scene because I thought, now again, as a rational movie person, I go, all right, clearly they're not going to kill her. It's your first movie, they're not killing her. But in this universe, I don't know. You don't know what they're going to. And when Johnny goes, tell my nephew that I love him, and Johnny is going to sacrifice himself to push Galactus in, I thought, oh, there it is. I know what's going to happen. He's going to go into the void in that black hole, and that's going to be the reason why the other 3 hop on a ship, and that's going to connect him. Right?
No, yeah.
You thought the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then when it didn't happen, I'm like, oh, again, you didn't go with the easy answer. You surprised us all, and Johnny didn't go in that. It was that Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
So that way, if you want to have that you need to, but if you should want to have Galactus show up in our universe, you could.
Yeah.
And you also, like you said, it wasn't our Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't our Silver Surfer, you could do the female version, who was very cold. And when she spoke and said, Galactus is whatever, inevitable.
That speech was chilling. It was really good.
Right? Somebody at work was like, somebody at work who's like a movie watcher, but not a comic book reader, you know, that the people who are experts because they see the movies, came to me and goes, "Oh, look, we have watched this scene. This is coming out this weekend. Look." And she plays that speech. And I went, "Okay, I'll look." I typically try to not, but I saw it. She goes, "Isn't that scary?" I said, "Yeah, they did a great job. It was amazing."
And this is the benefit of using Shia LaBeouf there, because we all know the Silver Surfer eventually becomes the Silver Surfer that we know, who's almost Christ-like in how much he loves people. That speech wouldn't sell as much because you know where the character's going.
Right.
Where with her, it's new enough that you're kind of removed from your affection for the Surfer, and it's creepy. You don't like it.
And I love that they let Johnny have a purpose and be the between. Like really, like, okay, well done, well used of that character.
It's a good way to play to what's Johnny's established thing. Oh, he's a girl chaser, and it uses that element without overdoing it.
Right, and even he goes, "I got it. Yeah, Johnny's a girl chaser. I got it." That's not what this is. I'm figuring out what she's saying, and he's able to talk to her and put the thought in her head. I just thought, yeah, this was well done. I don't, there's no hard criticism for any of it. I thought a self-contained movie that avoided all the cliches that already happened and a great story.
But the problem, not a problem, but I mean, the choice they made with the Jessica Alba films was tying Doom so closely to the origin. So then every movie you got to have Doom.
Agreed.
And I thought the absence of Doom here was great.
Agreed.
It's clear he's a part of the universe. Like you notice whenever they see all the nations and no one's sitting at the Latvian desk.
Yep, I love that. It was subtle.
And there's nothing here that says that all of Doom's backstory with Reed didn't happen. Clearly, we're going to find out that it did. They just didn't talk about it yet.
Right, and that extra scene, I'm like, oh, maybe that's the Doom that we're going to see coming up. This version is the Tony Stark from that universe kind of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe that Dr. Doom is from that universe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. That's fine with me. Well, that'll wrap it up for this episode. Tune in next time for part 2. Remember, everybody, stay excited.
The Never Gets Old podcast is part of the Forever Adventure Network and made possible by your donations through Patreon. If you'd like to help us out, please go to the Forever Adventure Network by Mac Jackson on Patreon and help by subscribing, rating, and reviewing wherever podcasts are heard. We also have a Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube channel. The show's music is by Harmony Constant and available wherever music is sold. Thanks for listening, everybody. And remember, stay excited.
The Forever Adventure Network. Welcome to the adventure.